Hello, Expand Dog. How you doing, dude?
Got some stuff to look up myself though, so we're gonna take a detour. Why? Oh my god. We're gonna go on the Brave browser. Ah yes, the Brave browser. Yeah, it's time for a Dingus field trip. Hey, it's the Brave browser. I love Brave. Okay, he had a whine earlier today about his titles. We might take a look at that, the specific whine itself. No, we're not looking at redemption games. What is there to say? Someone, like, chatted him up, like a troll chatted him up and, like, told him stuff and made, like, tried... Okay, the stuff he said is awful and disgusting and evil and I disavow. But it's like he was chatting at him to get him to say stuff that obviously would be disgusting and all. And you can say whether, like, I don't even know how much I should speak on it. But it's like, come on. He was baited into saying the things he said, but also he's an adult-style human who still said them. So it's like, I don't kind of want to cap for him to begin with because he's an acid-faced fuckface. And, yeah. He was being weird, but also he was being kind of like fed. He was being fed the line of questioning. He was being fed answers, and he just said the answers. But he also is an adult, and he should recognize when he is being fed falsehoods, and he failed to recognize the falsehoods. And I don't really like him to begin with, so yeah, fuck that guy. I appreciate the guy fucking with him more than redemption games himself. So yeah, that's all I'll say on it. It's nonsense anyway. But okay, we're gonna look at DSP's titles. Ah yes, the DSP Gaming title segment. I think first we're gonna analyze the titles in question. Hello, Egging1738. And I think I'm gonna look at the actual segment in which he complains about said titles. He spent 40 minutes today, 40 minutes, whining, whinging, and complaining about his title game. So I had a segment a few days ago in a couple servers regarding my thoughts on DSP's titles. So we got stuff like the Level 1 podcast, episode 222, featuring the date, thumbnail vid and titles discussion, feedback needed. But he's not gonna listen to any of it. Where does the feedback go? In the comments of that video or in the suggestion box? He doesn't, we don't know. He's not gonna tell you. He probably told you, and I wasn't listening. But the one that I highlighted on was Resident Evil 0 Remastered. So my original rant, which was not on stream, went something along the lines of highlighting the title and saying, there are 4 things wrong with this title. I'm going to highlight 4 things. Well, actually, it's not even this part. The part I actually had the most problem with was the first part. So let me actually go there. Yeah, I didn't have any of this prepared. I'm about as good as this as DSP himself, putting together that countdown. This ain't my business though, so I'm excused. Okay. Let's have a pop quiz for the people still paying attention. I spy 4 things wrong with this. What are the 4 things wrong with this? Can anyone tell me? Type out what you think the 4 things are, or just type out one thing. What are the 4 things wrong with this particular title? Any guesses? Welcome. I like how he gets 100 characters and he's allowed to use all of them. DSP Gaming, that is one thing wrong with it. Long as fuck. That is true, like, long as fuck. Some titles can be too long. Ain't nobody trying to read all that. Bad, cringy title. The game literally isn't called True. Peaches actually nailed one up right off the bat. It isn't called Remastered at all. He's like misnaming the game. No reason to say it's 2024, correct. There's actually not much to pick apart. Lame joke, of course. But yeah,
right, so
you guys are kind of like...
I didn't accidentally leave the mic on to tell them all about tomorrow's super secret stream, which is...
Is this a YouTube stream? Okay, yeah. For some reason he... Okay. That was a raw film, my bad. Okay, yeah, okay, you guys get full marks. That was an easy pop quiz, but you guys still get full marks. So, I picked this apart in a couple of servers. Here are my thoughts. Peaches is right, the game is not called Remastered. it just isn't. So I know he does this for like engagement. So like you click it, you're more likely to click it because you see that it's the remastered version. But DSP has never played the original version of Resident Evil 0, so it doesn't make sense within the context of his channel, and it's just flat out wrong because the game isn't called that. So let's do DSP Gaming Resident Evil 0. Okay, this is the original playthrough. Notice anything? Resident Evil Remastered PS4 playthrough? So he has never played the original version of the game. Even the original playthrough was using the remastered version. So when you go searching for Resident Evil 0, and I'm like not signed in, this is on Brave, I'm like on incognito, whatever. This is the naked base search results. Ah yes, the base search results. You will get the old playthrough first before the new playthrough, because he had the infinite, in his infinite wisdom, he titled both of them remastered. But this only felt some because the old playthrough is also called remastered. Why did he call them both remastered when the game itself is just called Resident Evil 0, no matter which version of the game it is? Because he wants to drag attention to it. He thinks calling it remastered, people will be, oh, it's the modern version, the more recent version. Ah, yes, it is not that stinky old original version, when actually, it would probably be more unique of him to play the original GameCube version. That's another thing. Look, you look up DSP Gaming Resident Evil 0, without any like bias from me being signed in or anything. You got the Outsider, third result. Couple scrolls, you get a couple of videos from Duty Streams right there. Sufyan Ali Jamal, that guy makes a great design on play. Snort Burnell. People also watch a current live stream of Amiga. Snort Hogan. Asmongold clips about racism. So he's like felting his own SEO by doing what he's doing here. And it just shows that DSP of the now, DSP of 2024, he's got like the same mentality when it comes to titles and analytics that the DSP of yesterday had. When was this exactly? I think it was 2014. 2016. So this was before Facecam, matter of fact. It's one of those playthroughs. I call this the weird era of DSP, when we had HD direct cam, but we didn't have a face cam yet. Those were some fucked, scuffed, weird playthroughs, because it's like the face cam isn't there yet, but he's still, it's like you can hear the swaying and the rocking without seeing it. You can hear it even though you can't see it. A lot of the pre-streams from the Twitch era are like that too, but just stretch that out for a full game playthrough. It's fucked. Yeah, he writes them like his business tweets. He wants you to think it's the newer version. But like, bro, you've only ever played the newer version. You've not played the original. This is the same version of the game you played back in 2016, and you're just pretending like it's new again. So that's the first thing that's wrong. You're just you're lying, misrepresenting the game. So we got that. 2024. The year doesn't need to be there. The year wasn't in the original title. Look at this. It's not in the OG title. It doesn't need to specify that it was 2016 back in the day. So why do we need to specify that it's 2024 now? No reason. He just does it to do it. So we can get rid of that. It's like they give him 100 characters, and he moves heaven and earth to ensure that all 100 characters are used. Then we got PS5. Negligible. There's no reason to include what console it's on. That's something he did do back in the day, include that it was on PS4. But this is not a game. Again, he's playing the same PS4 version that he played on the PS4 back in the day. There's no reason to include PS5. There's no frame rate enhancements. There's no upgrades. He's not seeing any improvement from playing the game on PS5 that is like tangible. Maybe the game loads faster or something. He hasn't commented on that. It's the same fucking version. The fact that he's playing it on PS5, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't have PS5 enhancements that are tangible and visible to him. So that's number 3. We don't need to put what console is on there. It's, again, Peaches has it. It's like that SEO kind of businessman mentality where he thinks he wants people to click on it because maybe they see PS5 and assume that there is enhancements or that it is a newer version of the game, when it's just the same shit from 2016. Yeah, now you're setting a weird standard. Does it help anyone searching for Beyond 2024? Yeah. He's just like, he's actually trying to trick you into thinking that it's a newer version. He's thinking like the salesman here. Yeah, he wants him to appear when people are looking for PS5, and then of course 2024 because that's the current year. So maybe he's thinking, well, maybe my video will be bumped up because I wrote 2024 in there. Then of course playthrough doesn't need to be in here at all. His peers, his competition doesn't use, by and large, don't use the word playthrough anymore. It's kind of just in there to fluff up the word count. I know it's said that DSP coined the term playthrough, so maybe he feels obligated as the originator of the term, as it were, to include the term in the title, but it's not necessary, and it's such a long word, it eats up so much of the characters in a title. And this is another thing that's going to continue into it. When you're on mobile, you can't see the whole title. So he acts like the content curator, but when you're on mobile, his titles are at the maximum length. You can't see the whole title when you're on mobile until you like you do the see more. How does this help the content curation when the person can't see what the title of the video, like what happens in the part without having to click see more? By that point, people have just clicked off the video. They don't want to see it. Desktop too, unless I scroll over it. Might be the resolution though. I said mobile because it's easy. It might happen to people's desktops as well. But yeah, think about the organic viewer, the organic person who's, by God, by some stretch of imagination, by some miracle, they stumble upon a DSP stream and they want to become a new viewer. They see a VOD like this. Does this, like, first of all, if they're on mobile, they're already felted. He says he curates the parts to tell you what happens in them. Well, a new organic viewer is going to have to click see more to read the full title, and already for the ADHD viewer of the now, that might be a tall order to ask. They may as well just click off and watch someone else's playthrough. Then we got the part 1. For capitalization wise, as a grammar Nazi, as a writer, I don't see why these aren't capitalized if you're going to keep them here. Why are they still, why is the formatting still like this? It's actually a little bit more consistent. This is consistent with back in the day, but look at how, for example, part 1, there's no spacing between the part and the number, but in the now, oh, there's still no spacing. Well, that's one point felted, but yeah, I don't know why he doesn't capitalize these. It makes the whole title look weird. Yeah, it just doesn't work, because when I see this, right, I see all this and I think it's a modern title, but specifically when I see this part, my mind kind of flashes back to the days of old when you would watch an anime episode in 2008 on YouTube, and it would be like part 1 of 3, part 2 of 3, part 3 of 3. It reminds me of that. It's like this harkens back to that era, and it doesn't need to be parsed like this. Yeah, it's a class of cultures. And of course, you have the unnecessary hyphen that eats up even more space. You could do like a colon and save like a character space there. And then we have the lame joke. This does not work because he uses the Polar Express joke because he's playing this in January, so we just got off Christmas. So Polar Express is still fresh on the mind, so of course that's the reference he jumps to. It's not going to make sense to someone who clicks on this video in October, if they click on it in October at all, because his views tend to drop off after like, what, a day or two? But if you're an organic viewer who stumbles upon, maybe you're looking for Resident Evil gameplay in October for Halloween, you stumble upon this, you're like, why the fuck is he making Polar Express jokes in October? And the joke itself is fucking lame. It's like DSP has a rotation. He has like a cabal of 10 jokes for titles, so 10 jokes and puns for titles that he just reuses ad nauseum. Like one notable one is like X and Y and Z, oh my! And then it's like, this is no Polar Express, one deadly train, referencing a movie, which by the way, he also does in part 1 of the old playthrough. It's like it's either a joke or it actually tells you what happens in the video. But this is a content curator. Content curator. Honestly, something I've seen his competition do is they kind of reverse it, where they have what happens in the video first, and then they tell you that what game it's from. I think that's to help out the people who are on mobile and need to do the see more shit. Because if you're on mobile and you're seeing the video like on your feed, you're gonna see the thumbnail first, which already tells you what the game is because it's so big, and then you see, as the title, you see what actually happens in the video. Whereas the way DSP does it, if you're on mobile, you see the game, you don't see what the part's about. You don't see the name of the part. It's cut off, and then you see the thumbnail. So actually, by reversing the placement of the name of the part and the game, you're actually helping out people on mobile. So from what I gather from this train is barreling down the tracks at you. But let's move on. We got DSP's description. So DSP likes to lie, and whenever he goes on a content creator or tangent, he always talks about how he curates the title and the description of the video to suit the needs of the viewers by explaining to new and old fans alike what happens in the video. Now this is a partial truth, partial lie. It's a nugget of truth in this. The nugget of truth is that he does do this for the title, if even barely. Like, this title certainly does not tell me what happens in the video. Maybe one deadly train, I guess. Barely. I get the idea, I get the impression that there's a train in the video. But he likes to say that he curates the description. And it takes time for him to curate the description because he has to go into the video and actually skim through it and see what happened, because he already forgets what happens in the recording after he's done with the live stream. This is a lie. He does not do this. He copy pastes one description for each video and then copy pastes it for the whole playthrough. So this description here, and it says, "This is my second playthrough of Resident Evil 0, and for the first time for the interactive live stream. My first run was 8 years ago, and I remember next to nothing, so this should be interesting. Join the channel to get access to perks at DSP Gaming." Like, okay, this takes me to the member. Okay, I was like, why are we linking the channel when the channel is right here? But no, this is supposed to be to like get a membership, that's cool. It's weird how that's parsed though. It looks like if you were to click that, it would just bring you back to the channel like as it is. And then we just got the begging. So this is copy pasted across every part in the playthrough. What he would have you think whenever he's arguing, like defending his stance about how he does things, he defends it by saying like, "Oh no, I curate the description. I tell you what's actually in the video. I'm not like these other streamers." He doesn't do that. At most, he does it for the title, and he doesn't even do it that well. Like this barely tells me anything at all. What happened in the part? You're damn lucky. I've seen gameplay of this. Like, I've seen long plays of this game before. Because if I hadn't, I'd barely know what the game was about. Let's try it now. I'm fair. I haven't checked part 2 yet. Part 2. The King of Backtracking versus Big Scorpion. So I'm assuming there is backtracking in this part, and the King of Backtracking references the King of Hate, which is a moniker he wants to throw away and like be disassociated from, but we're referencing it here because why not? And then Big Scorpion is like the boss. I'm assuming he fights a Big Scorpion boss. I think we could have, like, if we truly wanted to distance ourselves from King of Hate, we probably would have gotten rid of this and just focused on like the backtracking bit. Kind of goes against his thinking of not wanting to be the King of Hate anymore. And oh, look at this. Look at this, copy paste description. But he likes to tell you that he curates the descriptions to tell you what happens in the video. This doesn't tell me what happens in this specific part. Interesting. Lie detector determined that was a falsehood. We have derailed. Yes, arrival at another mansion. How was he derailed? Was the stream derailed? Was the train derailed? I don't know. He gets so derailed so often, like on the stream. I couldn't tell you if this was in reference to the stream or in reference to the train. And how is it another mansion? And like, that's it. Any other further parts aren't even in my recommendeds anymore. So get felted, I guess. Hey, look, it's got the Waz. I gotta do it this way. You guys liking the field trip? Damn, we're already up to part 9? Wow. We got a Big Bug Boss, Clock Puzzle, and Nasty Surprises. It's actually the most descriptive title yet, and it took 4 parts to get to it. We got Low Ammo, Poison, and Frustration. Peaches, this does not tell me what happens in the part at all, other than like his own attitude about it. This tells me that he like gets stuck somewhere. His title on the live stream today, which was like, we're stuck. We have no way out or something. That was more descriptive. Like, he should have used a title like that for this part. Instead, it's just kind of like, this vaguely implies that he gets upset because he's stuck at a certain part. Part 6. By the way, these aren't even in order, but that's normal for him. And like, there's nothing he can do about it. You can't just wait for all 3 of them to process and then make them public all at the same time. Now, these are the strategies of a businessman. To the last show basement, Pain and Monkeys. Ah yes, the segment where he shoots at monkeys. That was fun. It's fun to hear DSP say stuff like that, how he's gonna shoot at monkeys. Hey, the Daily Rap. Whoa! Thank God I did this segment. Aren't you guys happy? Alright, part 7. Getting past the monkeys and East Mansion. What's the crank for? And more monkeys. Bro, it's been like 3 parts of monkey this, monkey that. I get it, like monkeys are in the part, but this is like wasted characters trying to. But oh yeah, look, he can't even. Okay, this is another quiz. Where is it? Monkeys. Okay, the last show, Basement Pain and Monkeys. Basement Pain and Monkeys. Basement Pain and Monkeys. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Have monkeys. Let me scroll up. And then we have monkeys. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, you saw it. He can't spell. Hey, I didn't catch that earlier, so big ups. I guess I can't spell either. Yeah, so we got 3 parts that just reference the monkeys, like wasted characters on talking about the monkeys. Like, oh, look at this. Oh shit, dude, I love this. Getting past the monkeys. I did not do much. I didn't. Look, my preparation only went as far as looking at part 1. All of this is new to me. Getting past the monkeys and East Mansion. Why are the thumbnails so inconsistent? Because they haven't got them ready yet. But we'll talk about the thumbnails too. My main gripe was with the titles, because I feel like his titles... I think his titles are his biggest crime with the least amount of impact. They're the biggest affront, his biggest affront to mankind, his biggest contribution, as it were, to mankind, with the least amount of impact. But it is also simultaneously the one I am the most pettiest about. Yeah, we got the thumbnails, ones that are prepared. Some of them, like, this one is just ugly. We'll talk about the thumbnails too. So, Kino Casino did kind of like a once-over. They looked at their analytics and they found that their thumbnails that had no text on them, those videos did better than their thumbnails that had more text. So we'll do a couple Kino Casino clips. Yeah, big ups. So let's go down to how the thumbnails used to look. So see these? It's kind of cluttered, like it tells you what it's about, but they all have like a pattern to them. They all kind of look stock. If you were just scrolling and you weren't reading them, you know, like most people do, they just scroll on a timeline, on the YouTube timeline, the YouTube feed, whatever you want to call it. You would kind of think these videos are all interchangeable. They looked at this and realized they needed to change something. So they were experimented a little bit, and then they started doing these type of thumbnails. Now look at this. No text. This one has text, DVDR, supercut. Their editors start changing things up. And then the videos, according to their analytics that they looked at, actually performed better and retained people's attention more. Like, people didn't click off the video after an amount of time. Look at the Twisted Mind of Nick Ricada. 7,000 views 2 days ago. Their views actually improved when they changed it up. If DSP understood that, maybe he would get more views, but he doesn't. Yeah, they all look the same. Which is like the same you can say for DSP's thumbnail. Take a look at this shit. This doesn't tell me what happened in the part. It's just dirty, the title, and then like the game box art. Whereas, why did I close it if I was gonna? Why did I close it if I was gonna go right back to it? Why did I close it if I was gonna go right back to it? Like, this is unique. It's like these guys learned from the DSP template route, and they decided to switch it up. DSP is still kind of wallowing. And like some of these don't even have, like, it's so inconsistent. Remember when Street Fighter and Call of Duty wouldn't get these kind of thumbnails? And then I guess he got feedback on that. And now we got this shit. Which I guess these are more unique than the shit like a Dragon. But then you got even more inconsistency because now you have the thumbnails from Baldur's Gate and the thumbnails from Resident Evil 0. Cold Life! The thumbnails from Resident Evil 0. And check these out. These are actually unique and they somewhat, I assume the shot in the thumbnail is a shot from the part in question. Like I'm assuming it's from the actual part and not just a generic snapshot from that could have been it from anywhere in the playthrough earlier on. But there's such a clash here. Like maybe, like why couldn't we adopt this midway for Yakuza or just like somehow change it up for all the Yakuza parts? That would require too much work. Maybe he thought it would be weird. It's like midway through the playthrough, lazily change over to the newer style. I guess, like I would complain if he did it that way. But all the same, it doesn't help because you now have this inconsistency in how your uploads look. That green and red template went on for like 2 years. It was crazy. Maybe he tried it for Christmas. He had it for like a Christmas season and then forgot to turn it off. Forgot to take it away. That's my guess. Of course, the Level 1 podcast and daily raps they never look the same. I mean, they always look the same. They never use the template, so they kind of just stand out as well because they're just looking at Phil's face. Or on every thumbnail like Scott the Woz. And Amaranth when she goes live. The green ring. I was thinking about trying that for myself. Then you got Sea of Stars, which has actually the least amount of clutter, and it's got a border at too. By the way, yeah, Tevin, you're right. The videos having borders, but then the raps and the podcast not having borders. It just don't make sense. Why can't he do for the rap in the podcast what he did for Call of Duty and Street Fighter, where I guess he got feedback on like it looks so clashing to have Street Fighter and Call of Duty without proper thumbnails. So can you make some? Why can't the rap and the podcast get the same treatment? I would say right now Sea of Stars thumbnails have the least amount of clutter, but that's probably because he hasn't hit double digits on that playthrough yet. Then we were looking at the rest of the part titles for Resident Evil. By the way, this shit, Tevin, where's the thumbnail for this? I mean thumbnail. Where's the border for this? Border? No custom border for the year-end series. We just use, well, no, I'm thinking the thumbnail is a snapshot from the stream, but it's actually the thumbnail itself just uploaded on its own. This isn't a snapshot from the stream as a thumbnail. It's just the thumbnail itself, but it has no border, and it still looks out of place compared to the other thumbnails. That was the troll, hence the goatee. Yeah, but he'll just accept anything. You need to email him telling it it's a troll. Okay, remaining part names we got. It happens. Bat boss lock. Bat boss soft hyphen locks my game. No. Once again, Peaches baiting the rage, baiting the seed, baiting the cope. I was pretty salty with this. I was watching Seru look at it, and then yeah, getting past the monkeys. Thumbnail and vid titles and discussion. Feedback needed. Feedback needed. Soft locked in RE0? Game of the Year awards conclusion. This was after he got the email explaining he wasn't soft locked too. Yeah, he probably got that email right away, and he still titled the part what he titled it. And he didn't. And even if that's the case, he doesn't rename the title to be more factually accurate. I'm like Hulk here. That's not factually accurate, sir. That's not factually accurate. And he's still gonna bait the rage by leaving the soft lock in the title. Those are my thoughts. I think DSP's title game speaks for itself. I mean, my titles are long. Look at the title of this stream. Look at the titles for my YouTube VODs. I put too much emojis. I have Dingus at dusk, Dingus after dark, Dingus in the daytime on the YouTube VODs, where they probably aren't necessary. But this isn't my business. That's my only cope. This is not my business. It is because I myself have disgusting, horrible, terror-bad, pun-infused titles that I am able to dissect and destroy DSP's titles, as it were. Now, I know he cried about the titles. I'm gonna... Probably at this point, I'm gonna take a look at it and see what specifically he had to say. Maybe I'll even listen to the whole segment. Why the fuck not? But we have the daily wrap. So thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoyed that field trip. The first Dingus field trip in a long time. I got to whine about his titles. I hope I gave you something to listen to. Alright, YouTube mode off. Cue the thanks for watching.